All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frightmare HQ. I am Lloyd Cryer, and I am here with the lovely and beautiful...
It's me.
It's
Charles
me.
Doze.
It's him. It's Charles Doze.
Yay! We're here, and I am super excited because we haven't seen everybody in a week.
You're killing me!
I know.
I was dying.
And 2003 is looking like a really good year.
Oh, that year was so great that made my head spin, and I had to call 2 priests. It was crazy.
Well, I can't wait to get into it because this list is a good list this year. But before we do that, let's say hi to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Okay, now we can move on.
All right, let's move on. And that's all.
And
Hold on,
that's
let's put on the Say Hi to Everybody song. Welcome to Frightmare HQ, a.k.a. Mint Slip, where we're here to talk about one thing. One thing only. Udo Kier and his impact on society. Let's start. So, I'm waiting for Saturday, guys, when I can go to Frightmare Collectibles, because I got in the Andy Warhol's Dracula on beta today, and me and Lloyd are going to be watching that on Saturday.
We're going to Udo it up.
We're going to Udo it up.
That's
on
right.
Beta.
So
I opened up that beta, and it had the original receipt from when the person bought it under the tape.
Oh, wow.
I was like, can I return this still?
That's pretty crazy.
It said lifetime guarantee. I was like, all right.
Where'd they buy it from?
Some place called Mike's Movies in New Jersey.
Nice. All right, so let's get to it. First up, we got downtown Travis Brown in the hizzy.
T. Brown.
He's in
Hope
the hizzy.
You're doing good, T. Brown.
That's right.
Doing good.
Todd Lewis is here.
Todd Lewis. Yeah.
That's
I
right.
like Todd Lewis, actually.
And Eduardo Gonzalez.
Eduardo, my best good friend Eduardo, how are you today? Yeah.
Charles Anderson
Eduardo.
is here. Argento fan.
Charles.
What is up?
I know, Argento fan. You are the man, the myth, the legend. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Patrick LaGravy is here.
La Gravy makes it like Patrick Swayze. I don't know. That doesn't rhyme, but I tried.
Allie Tappa is here.
Tappa. That's Allie. She's a person that we like.
That is right.
I'm really failing with the rhymes today, guys. I'm sorry here. I'm sorry.
David Dugas is here.
Oh, David Dugas.
Dugas.
Welcome to David Dugas's Mint Slip.
T West. What's up, T West?
T West.
We got several people. Chrissy Gilliland is here.
Chrissy.
Stephen Burt.
Oh, I'm drinking the beer that Stephen Burt gave me like 2 months ago.
Yeah, that he just now picked up from my house.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I just now got it from Lloyd's house, but it's delicious.
Sorry.
I'm drinking the wonderful Open Gate Brewery Guinness Over the Moon Milk Stout, and it tastes like deliciousness.
Is it good, Charles?
I could pour it down your butt crack and still drink it. It's
Yikes. So good. So did I say Neil McElhaney is here?
Okay. I know Neil McElhaney.
Yep, he's here. My goodness. Let's see. Anna Lee. Look at this. What's up, Anna Lee? Thanks for joining. And Tyler Burrows is here. And I think that covers just about everybody that has commented. So let's get on with the show. What do you say?
If you've commented.
Oh, Mr. 80s is here on Twitch as well as a couple other people, but I don't see them right now.
What's up, Mr. 80s?
There we go.
Well, today, guys, since we're in the 2000s, I'm going to give away a steelbook copy of the Friday the 13th reboot.
Nice.
With Derek Mears. The Killer Cut steelbook theatrical and special extended release, and I'm going to give that away today. So
today.
Last week, we gave away Return of the Living Dead, if I recall correctly. Hopefully that's getting there soon, because for some reason the mail's taking like 10 days to deliver anything, but what are you going to do?
Awesome. So everybody stick around to the end of the show to win that beautiful mint slip Blu-ray. No slip,
it's
actually.
So mint. It's a steel book. It's a steel book.
Mint slip.
I was just celebrating.
Mint slip.
Mint slip. There's
slip.
Baby Blue TX.
Mint slip.
Let's
Baby
see.
Blue.
He wants to know if we could. Mr. 80s wants to know, can you guys put up Puppet Master versus Demonic Dolls with Corey Feldman next week on Frightmare HQ to talk about? If it's 1984, I bet we will. I can't.
You mean
remember.
2004?
Yeah, 2004. My goodness.
You know what? If you want it, it's coming. It's
That's
coming
right.
on the list. I'm adding it. If you guys want it, it's on the list.
Boom. You request it, we make it happen at Frightmare HQ.
Patrick, yeah, this is the 2009 Friday the 13th. This we're in the 2000s. I'm trying to do some 2000 movies. This is a steelbook. It means it's made out of steel, which apparently is something stillrific.
It's a precious metal. Precious. So let's get right into this, Charles. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Refreshing. All right.
You got the first one.
Okay. So the first one on the list.
What is
Somebody's going to guess this one. Death is stalking a group of survivors saved by a girl's premonition of a car accident killing multiple people. Released January 31st, 2003. It is the American supernatural horror film Final Destination 2, directed by David R. Ellis.
Yeah.
Boom. Final Destination. We do have a clip
Two.
of this one, and it is, part 2, and it is a great clip. But
Yeah.
you want to play that now?
Sure. Let's do it. Might as well start off with some fun.
This is one of the best scenes in the whole movie. Probably
it really
the
is.
best scene.
Oh, no.
The log scene. Oh.
Nothing to lose your head over. This
That's an
is
old
either
Mustang.
Final Destination 2 or this is Fast and Furious. I don't know which one.
One of the two. This is a great trailer.
Whoa!
I mean, clip. Bam.
Even though you can see the roll set up underneath the car when it's flipping.
Yeah. I don't know. This scene is.
This is an awesome scene.
Yeah, and it's become an iconic scene in the horror genre. I don't know about you, but anytime I'm on a road and I see a log truck, I always remember this movie.
I do too. I'm like, nope, not gonna get me.
Yeah.
Not today, Satan.
It's not happening. I always get in the other lane.
I do too. You know?
Man, there's still cars crashing and shit.
This is just a typical Thursday afternoon in Dallas traffic.
Yeah.
All right. It's just like this.
Oh. Uh-oh. Duck. Didn't help. Barbecue.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. Brutal, man. All right. That's a brutal scene.
Man, that is a brutal scene. You know, we know there was going to be a sequel because Final Destination was so popular when it came out. It was a huge movie. You know, New Line wanted a sequel. And unfortunately, the original director, James Wong, couldn't return because he was doing a movie with Jet Li called The One at the time. And the original writer, Glenn Morgan, couldn't return to write because he was directing a movie at the time. It's actually on our list, the movie he directed. So it's kind of weird, but they got David Ellis to step in and direct. And you know, David Ellis was mainly known for being a second unit director and a stuntman. The only movie he directed before this was 96's Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco. So it's a little
completely different types of movies.
You know, but he was a second unit director in a lot of big budget movies like Waterworld, Perfect Storm, even like Harry Potter he was on. If you guys don't know, like if you're not familiar, like when I say second unit director, like basically a second unit director is like the second director on a film. Most large movies have what's called a second unit, and that's a smaller crew of people with their own director and cinematographer that shoot a lot of scenes that aren't really important and don't require like the main cast. So they do like crowd scenes or scenery scenes. And
Yeah.
what he did is action movies are largely known for this because action movies with the stunts and special effects are always shot by a second unit crew, because if you have a stuntman doing something, most of the time your main director doesn't need to be there. You have a second unit director. And that's what David Ellis did. David Ellis came from being a stuntman, and a lot of your stuntmen kind of get into that role, either that or a stunt coordinator, because you're usually working with stunts. And David Ellis did stunts all the way back to like the 70s, 80s. He did Burt Reynolds' stunts in Smoking the Bandit, for Christ's sake. So that's how far back he went.
Mr. 80 says that he directed Snakes on a Plane.
He did after this, Snakes on a Plane.
There you go.
He actually is a good action director. I like him a lot. And unfortunately, he died in 2013. He was only like 60, and they never released why he died. He was getting ready to film another movie, and they found him unconscious in his hotel room, and he had died. And it was really sad.
No, Death from Final Destination got him.
Final Destination got him.
Tell you.
And he did another sequel to Final Destination, The Final Destination, which was like 2009. Mm-hmm. I like this movie. And what's so amazing about this movie is the fact that it was written and directed by people who had like no experience, really, with horror. The two guys who stepped in to write this were Eric Bress and Jay Gruber, who collaborate together. But at the time, they never did anything. I don't know how they got this gig. They never wrote anything. And somehow New Line was like, well, this was a huge hit. Let's put all these unknown people on here to make this movie. And
this is a movie, though, that, as long as it had a good screenplay, I think it'd be hard to screw it up. Because the showcase of the Final Destination, is all about the different and unique kills. So, as long as you have that in the screenplay, I don't know. It's a pretty easy formula.
Yeah, and Devon Sawa didn't return, and a lot of people wanted him back. I think people thought he was going to be in this, and I guess the rumor is that there was a salary dispute. Apparently, he wanted a shit ton of money, and they're like, "We don't care about you, Devon Sawa. We don't like Little Giants anymore. We're getting out of here," and he left. So, but I like this one. I think this one actually holds up to the first one, and I like the first one a lot.
Yeah,
I think they're a great combo of films.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I really like Final Destination 2. I like all the Final Destination movies, though. I'm a sucker for it. Just all the cool creative kills. You get that going, and I could care less about plot or anything else. Just cool kills is great.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of there's a lot of CG in this one, lots of CG, and it actually looks pretty good, though. It looks really, really good. I know apparently the company who was doing the effects, Digital Dimension, wanted some practical effects, like from the log trucks and everything, but apparently after testing it, they realized that if you drop logs off a truck, like at high speed, it only goes like half a foot, then it stops rolling. So they were like, well, that's never going to work.
Yeah.
So
sounds like an episode of Mythbusters.
Yeah. Apparently they tried it a bunch of times, and the logs either cracked or they just like stopped. They didn't actually go anywhere. It's like, oh,
interesting.
Well, fine. But
yeah, well,
it's great though.
This is a great movie. Everybody knows about it. So, I say watch them all the Final Destinations.
Do it. I say, watch them and enjoy them up until the one everybody says is bad. I actually don't know any of them past the third one, and people told me they suck. So I'm gonna listen to our viewers. Whatever they tell me I should watch.
Okay.
Now, before we move on to the next movie, I want to make sure everybody's hit the like button on YouTube, because I'm gonna have to read from my book again.
That's right.
Come on, guys.
We have 7 likes. There's 28 people watching.
Oh.
Hit that thumbs up, everybody.
Hit the thumbs up, guys, or I'm going to start talking about other stuff that you're not going to like.
That's right.
Somebody give me the thumb down, Travis. Stop it.
It's probably Travis. Gotta be Travis messing with us.
Now we got 2 thumbs down.
Ooh.
What the hell is going on here? 3. We got 3 thumbs down. All right, that's it. It's over.
Yikes. You guys are brutal.
Okay,
Patrick
fine.
LaGrave says the rumor is they are working on a new Final Destination.
Is it going to be the final destination?
It's going to be the most final destination.
Now, what I want is Final Destination in space. That's what we're missing.
That's right.
We need all these space kills.
All right, you guys. Somebody did an unlike, so we still got one unlike, and 15
We got
likes.
16 likes though, so let's do this.
There we go.
Because I'm excited about the next one. The next one's a lot of fun, and I think it's kind of familiar. People are kind of familiar with it, but it's a great one.
I love this movie.
Before we jump though, Final Destination 2, it's not streaming anywhere, but it is available to rent for $4 on basically every streaming platform. And if you want to buy it, the Blu-ray is a whopping $5.99 on Amazon.
What a deal. Bargain bin.
Now, we're moving up to something else. All right, guys. A quaint Australian fishing village is overcome by meteorites that turn its residents into ravenous undead, leaving a small group of those unharmed to find a way out. First premiering February 27, 2003, it's the Australian zombie sci-fi comedy horror film Undead, written and directed by Michael and Peter Sprigg, the Sprigg brothers, however you say their last name. Sprugas.
Sprigas. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but this is a great movie.
Oh my God, it's so great, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't remember where I heard about this movie first, but I sought it out, and I was so glad I did. From what I understand, there was something about it. They did a lot of CGI in this movie, number one, but it's pretty good CGI the way I remember it. But as they were working on it, they had a really terrible movie computer when they were doing this, and when they were doing the editing, and apparently their computer, they would do a frame and the computer would shut down, and then they would do another frame and the computer would shut down again, and so on and so forth. They really busted their butt on this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a low budget DIY CGI in this movie. But they worked with what they had. You've got to give them a clap for making this film. You know, they bust their asses, like you said. You could tell in it, and these guys know how to work with a shoestring budget because that's what they did. They don't even try to attempt realism for a lot of the stuff. They just go for it. They're like, whatever.
Oh yeah, super over the top. Super over the top.
Their focus is to make every action scene in this as ludicrous as possible, just as insane as they can do it. And really, this is a super phenomenal film. Yeah, the CGI is terrible, but boy, this is a fun movie. This is a splatter comedy that you should double feature with Dead Alive or something. I mean, really, this is what you need.
Right. It kind of has that same tone to the film as well.
You know, for some reason, the best splatter movies come out of the Southern Hemisphere. You know, they're either from New Zealand or Australia. Something about those two people. They love some splatter. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that the Spierig brothers directed this. You know, a lot of their stuff that came out, I just have after this, I wasn't real impressed with.
Yeah, you know, they I guess maybe the opposite with me. You know, they did Daybreakers, which I kind of liked. Daybreakers
I just couldn't get into that. I didn't see it as bad, but I just couldn't get into it.
I guess, I don't know, I was pretty entertained by it. I thought it was an interesting concept. It was almost like Blade if Deacon Frost had succeeded. That's kind of what Daybreakers seemed like to me. And then they brought out, I know they did one of the last Saw movies, Jigsaw.
Yeah,
they did that,
Jigsaw.
which I haven't seen that one, to be honest with you.
Hey, I want to thank Raven Rose. She just tipped us, or he just tipped us $5 through Super Chat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. It helps us, guys. The last thing I know they directed was Winchester, which I kind of liked Winchester. It's not really... It's a horror movie, but it's very... It drags on a little bit, but I guess I'm kind of a fan of theirs, you know? But Undead's definitely their best movie. It's kind of like... It's very reminiscent of early Peter Jackson, you know? This low-budget, crazy bonkersness.
Yeah.
And
sorry, I was reading some comments.
It wasn't easy to see for the longest time, you know. It premiered at that film festival in Portugal, early February 2003, and I remember hearing about it for years, and it actually didn't play in the U.S. till mid 2005. Was the first time it ever played in the U.S.
Okay.
It played it was released on DVD even in like Germany and Australia in 2004, but we never got anything here. And it finally got a like release mid 2005, and then there was a DVD. It was almost 2006. So I heard about this for like 2 years before I could actually watch it. It was one of those.
I don't remember where I saw it first. I really don't. It's been a long time, but it's a great flick.
It played so many festivals for like 2 years, but never came to the States. It played like every country imaginable but the United States, and I heard about a lot of it. So I mean, I really recommend you guys checking it out. The only way you could stream it's a $4 rental on Amazon. That's the only way you can stream it. They've never released a Blu-ray in America for some reason, but the DVD is almost $30 on Amazon.
Oh
which
my!
I don't know why. But
I don't know if it's worth $30.
Well, everybody who I promote the region free players, if you have a region free player, there is a legit 2K Blu-ray from Germany. It's a region B. It's $24.99, and it actually it's so good that it makes the effects look so much worse, and it's worth it. So I would recommend it.
Yeah,
great one though.
I definitely recommend it. I mean, I don't know about going in cold for $28, but if you can get that Blu-ray from Germany for $25, now that might be worth it.
Might be worth it, but hey, even the $4 rental on Amazon is worth it, guys. It's the only place it's streaming to rent. It's a $4 rental, totally worth it if you just want to give it a watch. I would say do it. Do it. You can't go wrong with these splatter crazy films from Australia or New Zealand,
especially this one.
Yeah, this is a great one.
Yep. Sweet.
Well, you got a next one.
I got the next one.
It's a good one.
It is a great one. This is one I'm sure a lot of people are waiting on for the list tonight.
Yep, everybody. We've heard this like 3 or 4 times before.
Already, yep. All right, so here we go. 2 young couples traveling across Texas searching for urban legends end up as prisoners of a bizarre and sadistic backwater family of serial killers. First premiering on March 13th, 2003 at the Mar del Plata Film Festival in Argentina. It's the American... Huh? Did you say something?
Nope.
It's the American black comedy sadistic shocksploitation splatter film House of a Thousand Corpses. Written, co-scored, and directed by Rob Zombie in his directorial debut and starring Sid Haig, Bill Moseley, Sherry Moon, Karen Black, Rainn Wilson, Chris Hardwick, and Tom Tolles.
What a cast for your first movie.
What a cast. The first film in the Firefly film series. Man, you're trying to twist my tongue up on that one.
Oh, my God. Tell me, everybody who loves House of a Thousand Corpses out there, because I love this freaking movie. I can recall, still to this day, the first time I saw this movie and how amazed I was. Like, I left there with a tear in my eye. It was so beautiful. Because it's basically every movie made in the 70s, like rolled back into the new age, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely a love letter to Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all kinds of films from
Hills Have Eyes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you even have a dinner scene just like Chainsaw Massacre. So and it's not a ripoff. It's totally an ode to situation with this movie.
Yeah, and this is I guess what we expected out of Rob Zombie. If you've listened to his music and White Zombie's music, there's so much nods to classic horror. And for the longest time, I remember, I was a huge fan of Rob Zombie. I'd probably seen him in concert like 7 times before this movie came out, and I kept hearing Rob Zombie's making a horror movie, and I was like, no. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, no. And I was just so excited. This movie's so entertaining, and it's gory. It's definitely a gory movie, but there's I love every minute of this movie, and Sid Haig is perfection. I love Sid Haig from back, and it was great to see him in this because I love Sid Haig from back in like his blaxploitation days with Pam Grier, and he sort of disappeared, and then you see him in this, and he got a nice revival to his career. Such a great man,
Yeah. Todd Lewis commented and said loved it. Liked Devil's Rejects better though, and I hear that a lot. I know they're 2 different styles of film, really, or 2 different. I think they're kind of a meld of 2 different genres.
Yeah, I mean he Yeah, I mean, I feel like he went full. He went more like exploitation on Devil's Rejects. It kind of feels like those old on the road movies, that you'd see
Exactly.
in the 70s. But House of a Thousand Corpses is. I have been waiting so long for them to do a good release of this. This is on Blu-ray. But every Blu-ray is shitty. Every Blu-ray has been an upconvert from the DVD, and nobody has ever scanned the original negative to give us a really good Blu-ray. And I've been waiting so long for that. Still don't have it.
Yeah, it's a
Still don't
bummer.
have it. Yeah.
You think they'll ever revisit and do that again with this movie, or do you think they're just going to keep peddling that same print?
I think they're probably going to keep peddling the same print. I mean, let's the Lionsgate owned, and I think everybody was hoping when they brought out that trilogy on Blu-ray that you were going to get at least a new scan of it. But when the price was $9.99, everybody knew they weren't going to do anything to it. They were like, "Oh."
Yeah.
I'm hoping at some point Rob Zombie pushes for like a better release of this, because that's kind of he's never really pushed for a good. I mean, I think he doesn't really care. I think he just likes it being out. So
Right.
I would love to see a nice scan of it, but you get what you can get, and you can tell when you watch it that if you watch this in theaters back in the day, you got the best way you can watch this, because even if you watch it now, even on Blu-ray, it doesn't look as good as a 35 millimeter print at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I never had a chance to see it in the theater.
yeah, I actually didn't either. I wanted to, but it wasn't playing a lot of places at the time. I recall that it was kind of not out there.
It wasn't. You're right. But we do have a trailer.
We had to have a trailer for this one. This is the original trailer.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and roll this one. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Howdy, folks. Like blood, violence, freaks and
I'm not even gonna talk. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
Every Blu-ray, every DVD is like an hour and 29 minutes long. The version Rob Zombie showed was essentially like his unedited work print type version. It was an hour and 45 minutes long, and nobody's ever released that again. Nobody's ever seen the footage, and Rob Zombie has said that most of the footage doesn't exist anymore, and that's also what I'm hoping at some point comes out, that we get the director's uncut version of this.
Yeah.
But
Bummer.
nope. If you were lucky enough to be in Argentina, though, you saw it. So
Several people are also talking about Karen Black. We've got to mention her.
Yeah.
Our
He's a
long
real
lost
lady
Karen
killer.
Black.
My God,
She
was an amazing woman.
She really was, Charles. You and I got to spend a little time with her at the convention that year, and she was great. She really was. I can't say anything negative about Karen.
Nope, I love Karen.
She was fun
her-
and funny and
From
sweet.
her singing opera in the back of my car to her just
Yeah.
talking to me, it was interesting. And I to this day don't know why she was singing opera. Like, she started singing. Like, if you guys don't know the story, like, I picked her up and she was in the back seat of my car and I was driving to the hotel with her. And out of nowhere, she was just like, I was like,
It scared the shit out of you.
it scared me. And then she did that for like 5 straight minutes. And then she was like, excuse me, I'm just practicing for something I'm working on. And I was like, it's okay. I was like, I don't know.
Maybe
what
give
you're
some
doing.
warning first, Karen.
Scared the shit. I thought like she was yelling for a second. I was like, oh my God, what'd I do to Karen? But, woo, Karen.
Yeah, maybe a little warning, a little advance. Driver, pardon me, I'm just going to sing in the back.
You're going to sing? Yes, I'm singing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. 80 said, are you going to talk about Devil's Rejects next week? If it came out in 04, we are. Right, Charles?
Talk about what?
Are you guys going to talk about Devil's Rejects next week? If it came out in 04, we are.
Came out in 05, so that'll be in 2 weeks.
Yep. 2
Rejects was
weeks,
05.
everybody. 2 weeks.
But love it. I mean, Sid Haig is just great, and getting to see him at the convention a few times was great. But he is so great in this movie. I can't say great. I'm saying great over and over again, but that's how you describe this movie. It's obviously made by somebody who loves genre film, and that was
yeah.
Rob Zombie.
Well, just think about all the cameos and everything in it too. I mean, it's just
Yeah, this cast is crazy. This cast is nuts.
yeah,
You know?
it's insane. It's insane. And you know, people weren't really doing that. It's something that I got to give kudos to Rob Zombie for. That you didn't really see that. Now that's all the time that you see movies with tons of older genre actors. So I think, you know, he really kind of made that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And you have to give House of Thousand Corpses also credit for reviving the career of a lot of these people we love, because a lot of them weren't doing a lot of stuff at the time, like Tom Towles and Bill Moseley got a revival from this, you know. And
so did Sid. Sid came out of
Sid
retirement for it. Sid was retired
Yep,
from acting, period.
Sid was retired. Like I said, I was so happy when I heard he was in this, because I was always a huge fan of his from all the blaxploitation films he did with Pam Grier.
Yeah.
I talked to him about those so much, and he was like, "You know too much about blaxploitation for being a white boy." I was like, well, I watched a lot of them. Coffee's one of my favorite movies, so it's all right.
Yeah. But there were a ton of great people in this movie, and it's a fantastic movie. I really think it's great. I love all the homages and everything. Rob Zombie, there's a lot of haters for Rob Zombie out there, but he's doing what he does, man. You can't fault him for that.
You can't fault him for that, and even if you hate some of the stuff he did, I'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who's a true genre horror fan who can say they hate this movie, just because this is all those movies from the 70s rolled into one. This is a cult. This was a cult masterpiece from like the first time it rolled. You know, this was always going to be in people's faces, and they'll be watching this 200 years from now. They'll be watching this movie. You know, it's just how it is.
Yep. A couple of good comments that I saw.
What you got?
JD Smith DigiArtist says, anyone knows Sid's ethnicity? I thought he was like Romanian or something. His real name is Sidney Mosasius or something, I think.
Mosasian? He's Armenian. Yeah, he was Armenian.
Armenian, that's right.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I know his. He came from a normal family. His dad was like an electrician, you know, and he was always big into music, you know. Sid Haig always loved music, but he got into acting. He was actually part of the Pasadena Playhouse back in the day, and it was just his unique appearance, you know, that got him a lot of parts, you know. Yeah. He was. His first role was working with Jack Hill, and that led to a lot of, you know, him being in a lot of Jack Hill's films. You know, Jack Hill directed Coffee, Spider Baby, Foxy Brown, and you know, I love Sid Haig. You know, he's a great actor.
Yep.
And the fact that he pops up in the original Batman episodes is hilarious. You know.
Yep.
What a career.
James Bond.
Yeah. He pops up in all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I mean, he's in so much stuff. Love him though. Great to see him. Yeah, if you guys don't know, he was he was in retirement. He came out of retirement for this. And one of the reasons why he did this is he didn't want to regret it, because he was actually offered the role of Marcellus Wallace in Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. He turned it down because he was retired.
Wow.
And he always regretted that. Yeah. He was originally one of he was supposed to be the guy that Tarantino wanted for Marcellus Wallace. You know, Quentin Tarantino loves all those old school movies, and he turned it down, and he wasn't going to do that again. So
yeah, that would have been a bad move. Bad move.
But if you look now, could you imagine anybody else as Captain Spaulding but Sid Haig?
No.
I mean, who the hell else could be that?
It would be a totally different thing altogether.
And Travis mentioned that Hal Holbrook passed away this week, or passed away recently. Hal Holbrook did.
Yep, I saw
great
that.
actor.
Sad.
Yeah, I agree. Todd Lewis. Todd Lewis said Sid would have rocked that role in Pulp Fiction. I 100% agree. I could see him as Marcellus Wallace.
Oh yeah, it would work absolutely.
But well, we could talk about House of Thousand Corpses all day. I'll jump on to the next one though.
Do it. I like this one too.
Do it. You're
You're next.
Do it.
You're up,
I'm doing
Charles.
it.
You're up, baby.
A young man with an unusual connection to rats uses them at his own sociopathic will. Released March 14th, 2003, it's the American natural horror film Willard, directed by Glenn Morgan and starring Christopher Glover and Arlie Emery. It's loosely based on the novel Ratman's Notebooks by Stephen Gilbert, as well as the first film adaptation Willard from 1971. And earlier we were talking about the writer of Final Destination. That's who directed this. So this is what he was working on, that he could not come back and write Final Destination 2. Glenn Morgan was directing this Willard movie. And this is a fun movie. And I think the best part of this is the music video of Crispin Glover covering Ben.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm going to tell you guys, of all the people I have met the years doing stuff with Frightmare and Dallas Film Festival and stuff, Crispin Glover is still the weirdest son of a bitch I have ever met in my life.
Yep.
That guy is bonkers, insane, crazy. I sat through 5 hours of his weird movie so he could sign my Back to the Future poster.
And Charles,
that guy is just, it's crazy.
You've seen all my interactions with Glover. I've shown you that, where I've invited him to the show. He's very specific. There is a method to his madness. He will not attend a convention just to come in and sign and meet people. You have to do like a whole show around his movies that he's made, basically. And we're just not equipped to do that, as our most conventions are not. So that's why you don't see him doing conventions. But he'll come out and he'll do this. It's almost like a whole day show, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah, he does. That's where I went to. He did it at Texas Theater here, and it was him for hours. So he showed 2 of his movies, and he read from 2 of his books. And he would only sign autographs at the end of all this.
And his movies are on 35 millimeter only. And that's the only way you can see them. He will not make them available digitally because he just believes that they'll get copyright, or, bootlegged. And so this is a way that he can protect that, is he can just go on the road and do these little shows. And you get to see his movies and meet him and get autographs and everything else.
Well, yeah, he's. I got his autograph because I wanted it on my poster, and I got a couple of books signed by him. And I should pull the book out because he signed my name the weirdest I've ever seen anybody sign Charles before. When I told him my name, he looked at me like I was crazy, like he's never heard the name Charles before. I'm like, that's a pretty common name. Then he signed it like very strangely. It was like CHYTRESS, and I was like, that's not even a name. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you.
It's almost like it's almost like he's talking to an alien or something, and he can't like decipher what you're saying because it's an odd interplanetary language, and because he didn't even spell it right. Who doesn't know that?
Yeah, I think when he signed my wife's book, he signed it weird too. He signed it like STE. Her name's Stephanie. He signed it STEFANIIE. So I was like, that's not a name either. But he was nice enough that apparently he signed autographs till like 4 a.m. for people.
Yeah, I've heard that he's super nice to his fans.
He's nice to his fans, but he likes to talk. He'll sit there and talk to everybody for like 10, 15 minutes. But he was the weirdest guy. The movies I had to watch to get his autograph, oh my God.
So,
I watch a lot of weird stuff.
To the viewers, I'm sorry that we're talking about Willard, but we're really talking about Crispin Glover because I love this guy. He's been in some of my favorite movies ever.
George McFly.
Well, yeah, I mean, Back to the Future, Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and he is the best character in that movie. And
even Charlie's Angels. He's the best part about Charlie's Angels. This creepy man just smelling stuff. He's just crazy. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, he's great, and I love the guy, and being a big fan of the original Willard. I was super excited to go see this, so I ran to the theater, saw this, and I like it. It's kind of a different take on the whole thing, but I appreciate it for what it is.
I mean, I agree too. I mean, Crispin Glover, crazy or not, he is an amazing actor, and he's a better actor when he could be himself, and him himself is a crazy son of a bitch. And
so Willard makes sense, yeah.
Willard makes sense. I love this movie. I actually think it's a beautiful movie. I think it was really well made, and I just think everybody should see this. You know, it's I actually didn't go into expecting a whole lot because I actually like the original Willard a lot, and it blew me away. I thought it was really, really great. The rats, what he does with the rats in it are great. It's almost like a weird Twilight Zone episode. This whole movie is, you know, it's kind of what it feels like. It feels like a really strange Twilight Zone movie.
It does, and the rat that they have, I don't know what kind of rat plays Willard, but he is the biggest damn rat I've ever seen in my whole damn life. This thing looks like a small cat.
Yeah, I really wanted to pull the video of him singing Ben because it's so fantastic, but I just knew I'd be fighting copyrights for like a week if I played that. I just knew.
Michael Jackson's estate would be in touch with this, I'm sure.
I'd probably get a call from Crispin Glover directly, and he'd be like, "Hey Charles, it's Crispin. I was watching, and you got my song on."
You got it. You got it wrong though. He probably said, "Hello, Charitararali."
Hello, Charitarasas. I remember you from Texas Theater all those years ago.
Charitarasas.
How dare you play?
Somebody said,
hey,
"Is he still dating Feruzia Balk?" I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know him either, but. I've always said that, crazy or not, Crispin Glover is one of the most talented actors out there. If you give him a chance, everything he does is great. And I don't know if he's a talented actor or if that's just him. Like, I can't tell if he's acting or if he's just Crispin Glover. You know?
Yeah,
that's the hard part.
Well,
he's one of those actors where you're like, I don't know what he is.
A former guest of Texas Frightmare Weekend, this is a celebrity guest, told me a story about Crispin. That his family was renting Crispin a home, and they went into the home for some reason, and Crispin's bedroom was completely painted black. All the walls, the drapes were black, all the furniture was black, all of the sheets and everything were black in his bedroom. Everything. Like, you walked in and it was just like a field of black space.
Oh my god! It wouldn't surprise me. Does he emerge like from the bed? From, like, some
He's
sort of
in a
mechanism?
black suit and he just kind of
Hello. I am Crispin Glover.
I'm Crispin.
You know, how come we've never got Udo Kier and Crispin Glover in the same movie? We really need that.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
We need a scene with them together, and no dialogue, no script. I mean, just let them ad-lib it. Whatever comes out, comes out.
Oh, there'd be some weird German expressionist cinema with Udo. It has to be. That's what would evolve from that.
Yeah. Ali said his home now is a huge mansion in the Czech Republic, full of original furniture and peacocks and art. I actually know where his house is in the Czech Republic because I worked out of the Czech Republic a bunch of times, and there was a couple times I really wanted to go to his house just to see if I could run into him, and I stopped myself from doing it because his house is pretty accessible. Let's just say that. I know where it is. And it was not very difficult to get to, but I decided it wasn't that good of an idea.
And that's Crispin Glover?
Yeah, Crispin Glover.
Oh, my God. I didn't know he had a home in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I think that's where he mainly lives now.
Crazy. All right, well, there you go. That's Crispin Glover talk
Willard's
for
great.
the day. Willard is great. It's worth it. It's worth some time.
Shout Factory bought a Blu-ray of this. It's $27.99. It's not streaming, but you can rent it on Amazon and Apple TV for $3.
Boom.
So, but I would recommend everybody after this, if you haven't seen the Ben cover that Crispin Glover sings, go pull that up on YouTube after this because you have to watch him singing. Ben.
There's your assignment. Go watch that video.
Ben.
Good stuff.
Please. Then let me know what you think of it. But we're going to move on because Lloyd's got a fun one here.
Yes. All right. After 13 years in prison, a mad scientist gets a new chance to experiment with the arrival of a young prison doctor who secretly hopes to learn to reanimate dead people. First premiering March 21st, 2003 at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival. It's the Spanish-American body horror film Beyond Reanimator, directed by Brian Yuzna and starring Jeffrey Combs. There you go. Beyond Reanimator.
Beyond Reanimator.
Charles,
dun,
I
dun.
haven't seen this movie in several years.
You know, I love Beyond Reanimator. And what was the shitty part about Beyond Reanimator was when it premiered in the U.S., it premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Sci-Fi Channel, yeah.
Yeah, and it was edited down really horribly. And, you know, it was, you had to look for a while to get the unrated version. And it's a fun movie. Brian Usna is a great director. And, you know, Brian Usna directed Bride of Reanimator and Society. He did Return of the Living Dead 3. He also wrote From Beyond. And he worked with Stuart Gordon on basically all his movies as a producer. So Brian Usna is great for this. And this was kind of a passion project of his at that point. Not so much Stuart Gordon, because Stuart Gordon didn't really care too much about Reanimator anymore. And Brian Usna really wanted to bring a third installment of this, and he pushed really hard to get this out. And I think it turned out well. I think it turned out great, largely in part to Jeffrey Combs as Dr. West, because that is 100% Jeffrey Combs, that character, and he's so great as that character.
Yeah,
I love this idea of him being in prison. It's just so great. You know, it's of course where he's going to end up as this batshit doctor, and everything that unfolds while he's in prison it's fun. This is a great story. Arrow Video was the first people to release this on the uncut version. That was a DVD back in 2011, and it was super excited when they finally did.
Yeah. Well, I just remember when this came out on Sci-Fi Channel, and I refused to watch it until I could get it unrated. So
yep.
I waited to watch this one out, and I wasn't disappointed. I really liked this movie too. Do you remember when, like, right after this came out, rumors were running rampant that they were going to make House of Reanimator? And I was so excited about that, but I guess this one didn't do well enough, and plans got it kind of axed. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that for a while too, and it was I think it was just the reception of this wasn't the best, and we never got another one. But Brian Usna is still he's still out there. He's another he's a guy I think would make a great guest if we could ever the hell get him to the show. You know, he'd make a fantastic guest.
I bet we could.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's on social media. He's out there. We could go harass him and be like, look, Brian.
Oh, I think I know somebody who reps him for conventions, so it may not be too far out of the realm of possibility to get him involved.
Well, good.
So there you go.
Him.
But I do like this. There was I remember something about a penis joke. Did they reanimate a penis in this movie or something?
Yeah, that's all you care about is penises.
No, that was the first thing. That was one of the scenes that popped in my head about this.
There's a reanimated penis that attacks a rat in this movie. Let's just say that.
Okay. There you go. Well, hey, I don't think that's a spoiler. I think that's a reason to watch it. That's what that is.
Let's just tell you guys this. There's a fight scene between a rat and a penis in this, a reanimated penis. All right?
Oh, hell.
So if that won't convince you to watch this, and I can't help you no more.
Rentals on Amazon just shot through the roof.
Yep.
Everybody's like, I got to go see that penis scene.
It's playing on Hoopla. We've talked about Hoopla before, so it's on Hoopla for free, or you can rent it on Amazon, Apple TV, Vudu. Vestron Video brought a really great Blu-ray of this. But for some reason, it's like $30 on Amazon, and I don't know. It keeps going up, even though it's not out of print. It used to be $14.99, then it was $20. Now it's $30. So maybe it's going to go out of print soon, but it's a good one to have if you're a fan. But I've been holding out. I have this want and this desire that I've been trying to poke Arrow with, that I want a 4K box set of all the Reanimator movies. That's what I want.
That'd be incredible.
I want all of them. Like, I want a 4K of Reanimator, Bride of Reanimator, and Beyond Reanimator. I want a 4K, please.
Yep.
We need it in our lives.
That would be great. I'd take a box set of that any day.
Yeah, seriously. It'd be great because Bride of Reanimator is another one that hasn't had the best releases of it. There've been some okay ones, but it would do well. They're so beautifully shot that they would look great in 4K, you know?
Agreed. Well, Charles, you have the next one, and it is fantastic. I love this movie.
Lloyd talks about this movie at least 6 times a week, guys.
Well, I don't know about that. But I
I'm
do
just
like
kidding,
this
I'm just
movie a
kidding.
lot.
No, this is a great one. This is a good one. A group of friends are left stranded deep in the middle of the woods and face an uncertain and blood-curdling fate. Dun dun dun. This was released May 30th, 2003. It's a cannibal slasher film called A Wrong Turn, directed by Rob Schmidt and starring Eliza Dushku.
Elijah Dushku.
It was a co-production between U.S., Germany, and Canada. Wrong Turn, which made like 39 sequels to it. I've only seen the first 2 Wrong Turns, so I don't know about the others.
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot of those either. I think
They're about to remake it, aren't they?
They already did. I thought it was out there streaming.
Oh, is it?
I think it is, or the streaming is coming up or something. But no. What happened is it just got released in theatrical.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and it did like a limited run, but of course they're gonna roll it out. But that looks like a completely different take almost on the original.
Yeah.
Well, I did go to the theater to see this one, and I wasn't disappointed at all. I had a fun time with this movie.
It's a lot of fun.
It really is. I wasn't expecting a whole lot, but basically it turns into, kind of a slasher flick, and it's a good one. Great kills, fun movie.
Yeah, I think what blew me away with this is it has excuse me, it has really exceptional cinematography, like really great camera work in this.
Oh,
and
yeah.
For a movie like this, you normally don't see stuff that you can commend as fantastic angles and camera shots, and this one is done really, really well. I mean, a lot of this. I mean, the script is really good too, but this is one of the better movies to come out of this decade. Something about this cast just clicked. This cast and crew just clicked, and Wrong Turn worked so many different ways. Even down to the score that was done by, I can't remember who did it. Elia Samiro, I think, did the score. Who's known for a lot of horror stuff. Did I have to mention also scored Battlefield Earth. So I'll put that out there. One of my favorite films, as you guys know. But
let's watch.
This movie just works.
Let's watch what we get. What do we got? Is it a trailer or a clip?
It is a trailer. We got a trailer of this bad boy. We needed it today.
All right. Wrong Turn.
Ali asked if it's a ripoff of Hills Have Eyes. Not really.
Yeah.
It's Hills Have Eyes-esque, but it's not any more than some other ones.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I think we can go ahead and say that it's a.
It's a nod to it.
It's a nod to it, and the trailer is going to show us that they're inbred maniacs. So in that way, they're part of that, I guess, that subgenre. It's also kind of a subgenre of those wilderness survival films. Like.
Oh yeah.
What is that? What's the big famous one with Burt Reynolds? Deliverance.
Yeah. Squeal like a pig.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
But this is good. It's got a lot going on in this movie, and very, very well done. Acting is good.
Acting is great in this, and Julian Richings is in this. He's really great. Eliza Dushku, she's always great though. I mean, she's always been a good actress.
Mm-hmm.
Since she was a kid, she was in True Lies for Christ's sake. So
yeah,
like, come on. But everybody, this is great, and it was shot so well. And the guy who shot this, who's the cinematographer, was, he's not really an award-winning cinematographer, but maybe the reason I like it so much is he did a lot of the old camera work on a lot of the old X-Files.
Oh, did he?
Ones. Yeah. And those were always shot really, really well too. So, and he also was cinematographer on a lot of episodes of Lost too, and I love Lost. So it's probably why I like those camera shots in this. So.
Well, this year's turning out great. 2003. I'm really liking where this is headed, and we're just halfway through this with Wrong Turn.
It's a good year, and we're halfway through. It's a great year. Yeah, like Lloyd said, Wrong Turn's fantastic. and make your butt tingle. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean that's not really far from the truth. You know, it's an exciting movie. It really is.
It'll make you think twice about taking those back roads. You know?
Absolutely, it will.
Nope, I'm not driving that way. Somebody's gonna touch my booty. I'm not going that way.
Now, this movie came from Stan Winston Studios, right?
I can't remember.
I know
Stan Winston Studios today.
I think so. I know the effects were from them, but I want to say this was kind of Stan Winston's studio project. The whole thing was.
Yeah, I'm not positive. I know it was done out of company in Germany and the US. The US, it was an offshoot of Lionsgate. I can't remember their name, but I don't know if that was it. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I can't remember 100%, but I know he was somehow involved. I thought it was like, a product of his production company.
No, I don't think it was his direct production company because it was Lionsgate offshoot that did this one.
Okay, Stan Winston Studios was
maybe it was
part of the makeup department.
Yeah,
but yeah, most of the effects were Stan Winston Studios. Yeah, I just thought they were more involved with that in some way, but I've been wrong before.
Yeah, you may be right. Who knows?
We
just work here, man. We just work here.
Somebody mentioned, Chrissy mentioned Jeremy Sisto. He's great in this too.
Oh, Jeremy Sisto, yeah. He was also in May, which we talked about last week for 2002. I also remember him in Clueless. He was Elton in Clueless. So yeah, I know him.
Three Finger was played by Julian Richings, who is a guest at the upcoming Texas Frightmare weekend.
Yeah, Julian Richings is a fantastic actor. He's done so much stuff. He's been in a lot of stuff.
A ton of stuff.
Still in a lot of stuff.
Yep, and still not as well known as he should be.
Yeah. I know he popped up. I was really excited because he popped up in the pilot in the first season of Doom Patrol, and I was like, "It's him! I love him! Do it! Do it!
Do it!
Do it!" You know what we need? Hold on. Mint slip.
Yeah, that's right. So you can get a Wrong Turn 3-pack for $14.99 on Amazon. You can rent it for $3.99 on Amazon, Apple TV, and Vudu. Definitely recommend doing that as soon as possible. Right, Charles?
Do it. Do it. Do it. All right, guys.
All right.
Next up is one from Lloyd.
All right. After spending time in a mental hospital, a girl is reunited with her sister and returns home to some strange events. Released in South Korea, June 13th, 2003, it's the Korean psychological horror drama film, A Tale of Two Sisters, written and directed by Kim Ji-woon. A Tale of Two Sisters. So, I don't know. Here it is. What do we got here? A Tale of Two Sisters.
This is a beautiful film from Kim Ji-woon.
I don't think I've seen this one, by the way.
This was remade a little bit in a few years. A few years later, this was remade in a U.S. film. But this is a fantastic film from Kim Ji-woon, who is a really, really well-renowned South Korean director and screenwriter. He's done a lot of movies. I think the one most notably people know he did was a few years after this. He did I Saw the Devil in 2010.
That's what I was going to bring that one up.
Yeah, but this movie, I call this movie a masterpiece because it is so well written that after you watch it, you're confused, but not in a bad way, because so many things happen that you're just like, I don't know what just happened to me. And it's one of those movies. It's super unique. There's so many twists. Just when you think you know what's going on in this movie, something else happens, and you're like, well, shit, I'm back to square one.
This is one I definitely haven't seen. I have not seen this one, Charles.
And this is, some people, it may teeter not being horror 100%. It can sometimes play itself like a schizophrenic drama almost, but I think there's some scary scenes in it, and I love this movie. It's It's definitely super rewatchable. You'll probably have to watch it. It's one you'll watch and you're immediately going to say, well, shit, I got to rewatch that again because I don't know what the hell just happened to me. Hurt my head. It's again, like I said, it's a masterpiece. I'm not going to go through a lot of it, but it's super underrated. People underrated in the sense that a lot of people haven't seen it, and I think everybody would like it. If you want something a little more think piece horror, this is definitely the chilling, thought-provoking horror film that you're going to want to throw yourself into.
Yeah. Well, if you recommend it, and if it's from the same director that did I Saw the Devil, then that's two really highly recommended, sources that I would take the word of.
Yeah, he's a great director, and he was a great director. Even he even did I think the only Hollywood movie he did is the 2013 movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Last Stand, which should be a lot worse than it is. The movie was a lot better than it should have been. So
yeah,
I like this director a lot. I like his style, and if you haven't seen this and you haven't seen I Saw the Devil, go and watch those. And if you also haven't seen The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which is like his strange tribute to spaghetti westerns, that's a great movie too. I'd go watch that.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah. Great one though. Great one. This unfortunately, there's no Blu-ray release of this, but when I checked, this is playing on Shudder and the Criterion channel right now, so it is streaming. You can only get a DVD here of it. A DVD's $5. Again, Germany has a Blu-ray of this, a 2K scan Blu-ray. You can import in region B, and it's really nice looking, and it's like $9. So, like it. Good director though. If you guys aren't familiar, like I said, get on it with watching some of Kim Jae-woon's movies.
Yeah. Well, this is like you said, it's on Shudder, so that's pretty accessible for a lot of people, I think.
Pretty accessible. And this is a great director, and this is a great way to introduce yourself to this director if you're not super familiar with him. He did a movie in 1998 called The Quiet Family that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The Quiet Family was like one of the first things. It was the first thing he did, and we talked about that a little bit. But that's a good one to start with too. I recommend The Quiet. He's a good director. I'm just saying because like The Quiet Family's on Prime Video, so I'd recommend watching that. And this one's on Shudder. They're both accessible, so it's a good way to start understanding these South Korean horror films from this time period. Really great movies.
Well, the one you've got next is probably my favorite one on this list.
Yeah. All right, guys. Two best friends decide to spend a quiet weekend at a secluded farmhouse. But on the night of their arrival, the girls' getaway turns into an endless night of horror. Oh. You know what happened to them?
Mint slip.
Boom.
It wasn't a mint slip.
It got him.
This was released in France on June 18th, 2003. Released in France. It's a French extremism, shocksploitation slasher film. There's a lot of genres in this movie, but this is high tension. Yeah, this is high tension. Written and directed by Alexander Aja, also known as Switchblade or Romance. There's no words to describe how well made this film is. Let's just say that.
It's fantastic, and all the way through the movie, you don't expect the little twist at the end at all.
You don't expect it, but I'm not going to say much, so I don't want to throw away people who haven't seen it, but this is, oh my God, just say that. I can't believe the twist either, but yeah, this is done super well. It's definitely a slasher flick. It is. I like this director a lot. The director is really a really great director.
He really is. Yeah, I love Piranha 3D, the one that came out, and he did that as well.
He also did the Hills Have Eyes remake, which was really, really freaking good. So.
Yep. Oh, I tell you, this movie opened up a huge career for this guy. And he's made some great movies. He even did Crawl not too long ago that was pretty well talked about. A lot of great buzz about that movie.
Crawl?
Crawl, yeah.
Yeah, Crawl was actually a fantastic film, and that one blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Crawl a lot because I went in there knowing it was directed by AHA, and I was like, yeah, there's I don't know what he could do. Crawl was one of those that the trailer seemed so stupid, but I was like, I know who's directing this movie. I'm like, there's no way this could be
Yeah.
stupid. I went there and it wasn't.
And
Oh, like, it's
Raimi
good.
produced it, so you know.
Yeah, uh, yeah, it's a great movie. This though, this is another director that you should be familiar with. I don't think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are familiar with his movies, but not that he's directed all these. You know, and if you're
Aja.
not familiar, I mean, this is yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we got High Tension, Hills Have Eyes remake. He did Mirrors,
Yep.
Piranha 3D, Horns, and then Crawl. Those are all his movies. Those are great movies to watch if you want to learn more about this director. But back to High Tension, Lloyd. What do you think? You like it?
It's
You give it a
great.
thumbs up?
It's great. Philip Nahon, we should probably mention, is now I want to say this right before I say it. Let me look it up. What his character is listed at, because I don't want to give anything away. But he's listed as La Tueur, which I don't know what that means in French. But anyway, he just passed away recently.
Oh yeah,
in
such a
April.
great actor too.
Yep, great actor.
He was
Big
in a
French actor.
Yeah, he was in Irreversible, which is another insane movie. Brotherhood of the Wolf he was in. So
And a movie called I Stand Alone.
I Stand Alone. Yeah, he probably has 200 credits if you look at him. I wouldn't be surprised.
225.
There you go. I'm like, I wouldn't surprise me. He's always in stuff.
Huge actor in France. But anyway, it's this movie is really good. The story is awesome. And then a favorite scene, the big giant saw thing.
Yeah.
Woo!
I mean, it's so realistic. I mean, any true horror fan is going to enjoy this. It's so realistic. System of France is so believable as the victim in this. It's yeah, but like we said, Philip Nahon is okay. It's a great movie. Let's just say that. If you haven't seen this and you're a huge fan of movies like Seven or Saw, you're gonna like this because this is way better than any of those movies. This kicks them out of the park.
Yeah,
This is a fantastic movie.
it really is, and it was. Man, I just keep thinking about how great 2003 is. This is
It's
to
a great
me
year.
one of the great French horror films, one of the greatest French horror films ever made. So
This is one of the greatest French horror films ever made. There's a lot of good French horror out there too, but this is definitely the
lot.
top. Definitely top. Now this is one that I know there's people that hate subtitles, and there is an English dub of this, but I have to keep stressing to you guys. You gotta love the sub. You gotta embrace the subtitles, guys. All right,
Yeah.
because the dub is not the actors that you're watching. That's somebody else who's not as good as an actor. So the dub of this is not that good. You got to embrace the subtitle world. It's just how it is.
But I will tell you, even if you don't want to watch the subtitle version, you got to see this movie any way
You gotta.
possible. Even if
Anyway.
you watch the dub, the English dub.
Yeah, and the Blu-ray is actually only $10 on Amazon, but it is on Hoopla as well, and AMC Plus, which is a service I'm not familiar with, but I've been seeing pop up more lately. AMC Plus has this.
I see that.
And there's a $4 rental on Amazon or Vudu. I kind of I mean, if you're gonna rent it for $4, I kind of recommend just buying the Blu-ray for $10. The
This
Blu-ray's-
is definitely worth $10.
yeah, this is worth $10. And I think that if you haven't seen it, you're gonna love it, and you should like it. It's yeah, it's. I see Ali mentioning the score. Yeah, Ali said the score is great except for that Muse song. Yeah, the Muse song is kind of weird in it. Muse kind of pops up in it, but the score is actually really good. I mean, it's just there's so much going on in this that you start to feel like you're being violated by watching this. It just starts getting to you. You're like, it's getting to me.
Yeah.
What's happening to me in my life? And I see people who tell me that that they think this is like one of the best, if not the best, slasher films ever made. I hear people actually say that, and I think it's a movie of many genres. It's one of those movies like that touches on like 12 different genres, and it does it well. It does it well.
It does it well, and like we said, this catapulted him into big projects, like we already mentioned. Alexander Aja has done some great horror movies over the years. So, required viewing. Said
he's gonna check it out. Please, yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Let us know what you think afterwards. I mean, you can throw a comment on our YouTube video afterwards and let us know any of these movies that you watched that you haven't seen. I like when you guys throw comments afterwards saying you watched a movie and it was good. It makes us feel good that we're doing something.
That's right. Thank you very much. All right, you want to move to the next one?
Man, let's do it, because this is what I want to talk about a little bit. So yeah, let's do it.
Two renowned killers return to terrorize the teenage population, except this time they're out to get each other too. Released August 15, 2003, it's the American supernatural slasher film Freddy vs. Jason, directed by Ronnie Yu, starring Ken Kersinger as Jason and Robert Englund in his final cinematic appearance as Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Man,
I want you to talk about this one first.
Well, okay. Freddy vs. Jason was a nightmare, to say the least, just in getting it made. This goes all the way back to the 80s. They started trying to make this, and you can find 7 or 8 different scripts for this movie online. It started in 87. New Line and Paramount could never come up to agreements on what they wanted the story to be about. They wasted a lot of money in like 15 years on this, trying to make stuff. But the original screenplay for this, I've read. The original screenplay is insane. Have you ever read any of the original screenplay?
Never.
Done by. So back in '87, it was written by Louis Abernathy, and it was called Nightmare 13: Freddy Meets Jason, and it was just bonkers. Let me say this: it had a scene where Jason and Freddy face off in a boxing match against each other in hell. And during this boxing scene, Ted Bundy is the ring announcer during this in hell. So
I could see this if it was written in the 80s. Absolutely.
It was written in the late 80s. And like, I read the script, and kind of how it goes is like, they want, it's similar to Freddy versus Jason. They want Jason to fall asleep, so they pump him with all these like tranquilizers. And then there's like a scene where he's falling, and then when he falls and hits the ground, it turns into a boxing ring. He gets up all confused, and he's looking, he's wearing boxing gloves. And he's in this giant arena full of like zombies and demons, and they're all cheering.
Oh, that sounds so 80s, man.
And then he looks, and like Freddy's in the corner in like full on boxer trunks that look like his sweater. And he's got boxing gloves on too. And then there's Ted Bundy comes in. He's like, tonight's match is it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's at one point Lee Harvey Oswald is like shooting a gun off. It's crazy. It's a really strange. I wish this could have been made. This is something that should have been made.
Yeah,
you know?
that version would have been crazy. Well, what do you think?
There's a lot of weird ones, but I like Freddy vs. Jason.
Okay.
Here's why I like it, because it's more of an action movie than it is a horror movie.
Well, that's my criticism of it. You know, it feels more like a big, action film than it does, a true Freddy versus Jason matchup.
It goes full John Woo at the end in this,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do we have a trailer? We have a trailer for this?
I think we do, actually.
All right.
A trailer for this one.
Let's roll that.
Yeah.
What?
Let's roll the trailer. This is the original theatrical trailer for Freddy vs. Jason, and like it was said in the comments, we waited for this for a long time. People heard about this. I was there the first night this came out at 12:01 a.m. for the early screening to watch this.
I think everybody was really, there was a lot of people that were upset that they didn't bring Kane Hodder back.
Yeah.
And that was kind of unfortunate.
But I get your criticism. I mean, there's a lot wrong with this movie. I could say that. There's a lot of. It's very, just for the fact that they went through. I don't know how many different scripts. This script is not that good that they landed on.
Right.
It's real clunky, and it's just like they're just throwing shit in here to have shit in here. I feel like it could have been a lot better. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you imagine a Freddy versus Jason movie, you didn't imagine this.
No.
Yeah.
And it's just a weird. You have to forgive a lot of things that don't make any sense.
Right.
In this, you know.
Well,
it's just.
I do know that, you know, a lot of people were just glad that we finally got this movie because, like you said, it had been talked about for so long, and you know, at one point they were actually making it, and that took forever for them to actually get around to making it. So
yeah, I'm with you though. If Kane Hodder would have done this, I see people saying the same thing. If we would have got Kane Hodder and somebody better to write a script, I think we would have came up with something really awesome. I mean, it's almost a guilty pleasure movie at this point, just because of the action in it and stuff. There's so many plot holes in this that just don't make any sense when you're watching it. Like at some point, you just don't know what the hell's going on. You're like, what the hell am I watching? But I love Robert Englund. He's great in this character. I like the makeup in this. The makeup of him in this is really, really good. It's a little different.
Didn't they change the color scheme too? Like it wasn't actually red and green. The sweater wasn't, was it?
I don't remember.
I thought it was a lot different. But anyway, I mean, don't worry about answering that. But that was something that
I couldn't remember though. Yeah, I don't think it was. If I recall, it wasn't like dark green. It was still red, but I remember there were stripes, and it was almost like a grayish color, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But of course, this is a fun, like you said, guilty pleasure. That's really what this movie is.
I mean, it's one of those that you've seen it, and once you've seen it, you know it's not the best, but it's fun to watch, and you could just kind of throw it on for like. Because you don't have to super pay attention to it. It's one of those I could put on The Office while I'm working on shit, and it's just on.
Right.
Because I don't have to pay attention to it. So.
Yeah, you just kind of get the basic visuals. Well, there's Freddy and Jason. Cool.
Yeah. Pretty much. And, you know, there were so many different takes on this. I remember one of the scripts was they tried to make Jason. I don't know. They tried to make Jason like a real character. He was like in prison, and then Freddy like took over his dreams. It was very weird. So I don't know what the hell's going on with this, but yeah, I mean, I'm upset that I think a lot of people were upset that Kane Hodder wasn't back in this, and even at the time, people were upset about that. But
yeah,
I do like this. I do like the soundtrack for this movie. It has an awesome soundtrack from like every like rock band from early 2000s in it. It's on this.
Yeah,
so,
I never bought that soundtrack, so I don't. Who all was on that?
Let's see. There was Devil Driver was on it. Static X was on it. Basically everybody.
Wow.
You can think of, and I bought it when it came out because I liked it. I kind of think who else was on it. Stone Sour was on it. Slipknot, Power Man 5000, Spine Shank, all these bands at the time.
Interesting.
It's a great soundtrack though. It's a great soundtrack. So. I'll have to say I like the soundtrack a lot, but it's Freddy versus Jason. What else can we say? I mean,
yeah, I mean, at least we got a Freddy versus Jason movie. So
I'll say it's not the worst Jason movie, and it's not the worst Freddy movie ever. So
yeah,
I can say that. I can say that to you. Now, maybe if they wanted to go action, they should have just hired John Woo to direct this. It would have been like Face Off or something. It would have been awesome.
Yeah. J.D. Smith, Digi-Artist, says Typo Negative was on there.
Oh, typo. This is my typo impression. You ready? Typo.
Oh. That was a big dude. That dude was giant.
I never got to see Typo, and it makes me sad.
I saw him once when they opened for Danzig years and years ago. Yep. That was a great concert. It was at the Bomb Factory in Dallas on Deep Elm.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Yeah. It was Godflesh, Typo Negative, and Danzig on that bill.
You were rocking out, Lloyd. You were like, ah.
It was pretty crazy. It was a good show.
I bet. I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, what do we want to say? It's on HBO Max, so you can go watch that.
HBO owns the rights to these. Well, HBO is a New Line company, isn't it? That's probably why.
Yeah. So then there's a New Line Cinema Blu-ray, $6.99. It's also included in that Friday the 13th set that just came out from Scream Factory.
Yeah, and it is, but the one in the Friday the 13th set is the exact same movie that's $6.99. They just put it in there.
There you go.
So if you just want this one, you just get that. So.
Yeah. Well, just a reminder, I'm sure a lot of our watchers probably bought that set. So
it's in there. It's a good copy too. You know, it's one of those that, you know, it looks good. The copy they have of Freddy vs. Jason that's been out on Blu-ray for a while, it's a good copy. You know, it was shot on 35 millimeters, so it looks good in Blu-ray. So do it.
Cool.
What else, Lloyd?
That's it, man. That's all I got to say about Freddy vs. Jason.
Well, we're going to move on to another one here, which people probably know.
I would imagine so.
A vampire warrior is entrenched. I feel like I need some sort of like music for this.
Some gothic music. Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect, Charles. Good choice. Great selection.
Did you like it?
I loved it. Play it again for those that missed it.
Put this on. All right. A vampire warrior is entrenched in a conflict between vampires and werewolves while falling in love with a human who is sought by werewolves for unknown reasons. Released September 19th, 2003. It's the action horror film Underworld, directed by Lynn Wiseman and starring Kate Beckinsale. It was a co-production between United Kingdom, Germany, Hungary, and the United States. Apparently everybody made this movie.
This was an international
4
film.
sequels. I recently rewatched every single one of these Underworld movies. Not even that long ago. This one's good.
Yeah. This one's good. I don't know. I guess I won't talk bad about Underworld, but I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. And I've seen one of the sequels too, and I can't remember which one it was, but I didn't think much of the sequel.
You know, Underworld benefited a lot that they got Kate Beckinsale to be in that movie, because most of the time movies like this, you don't get an actress like Kate Beckinsale in a movie like this. She's a really well-known actress, really great actress. And without her in here, if it would have just been another person who wasn't really known, it probably wouldn't have been as good. She really embraced that role and she did super well in it. So I think that's what made it fun to watch. But you have to ignore some stuff in this. I mean, the CGI, the werewolves is not very good.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad. I'll tell you what my gripe is with this movie. It just feels like a Harry Potter movie or something to me.
It does.
Yeah.
It feels like a rated R Harry Potter movie. Maybe it's in the same universe as Harry Potter. Do you ever think of that?
I just think it was part of that trend of everybody, having these saga films, where they were, 3 or 4 films long or whatever. I don't know what it was. It just felt that way to me.
Yeah. This, this was a pretty big franchise. It spawned, 4 sequels, like I said, and the sequels just got worse and worse. It was like a train wreck, but they just kept making them, and the CGI got worse.
and I guess they were making money off of them because they wouldn't keep making them if they didn't.
But I think the first one's fun. They're nice little supernatural take on this, this war between them. I think it could have been. It's definitely playing to a more universal crowd. This is not playing to a horror crowd, this movie.
Yeah.
It's trying to be a lot more widely acceptable in both action and horror genres. But I like the first one. I think the first one is a fun watch. It's an interesting story. It's a little goofy, but like I said, Kate Beckinsale really does well in that part as Celine. And She made the movie for me.
Okay, well there you go. So
It's actually on 4K. So there's a 4K release of the first Underworld, if you want it. $13.
if you want it.
If you want it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why there's a 4K because the 4K doesn't look anything different than the Blu-ray. I don't think they did a scan or anything. They just said, "Boom, it's 4K." So
yeah, a lot of these are like 2K versions that they, throw out there, and that's what it kind of bugs me about some 4K. You really have to make sure you're actually buying a print that's 4K.
Yeah, it was a 2K, I believe. And the thing is, guys, if you hear a movie come out as 4K, if there's no information that they actually did a new scan and a 4K scan of the original negative, it's not 4K when it comes to this. You're getting the same movie you would get if you bought a Blu-ray and put the Blu-ray in your 4K player and it upconverted it. You're getting almost the same format. I mean, It's basically almost the same. So
the review on Blu-ray.com is funny. It says, without much in the way of standard color beyond bursts of red blood and pale skin with some shades of gray thrown in, the movie is hardly the breeding ground for HDR enhancement.
Yeah.
That's so true. But yeah, it's like a 2K according to this.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's not a legit 4K. So this is one of those you have to kind of watch when these are released and get info, because I see a lot of times people spending like double the amount on a 4K. But I'm like, well, some of these releases, I'm like, if you have a 4K player and you just buy this movie on Blu-ray, you're getting basically the same thing, because your 4K player is going to upconvert it the best it can. And that's pretty much what that disc is. It's basically a blown up version of a Blu-ray, so you're not getting anything more special.
Yeah. Well, the movie was finished, according to this review, it was finished at 2K. And it says it finds a healthy boost in raw detailing evident throughout, and particularly where the dark shades of black and blue don't absorb textures. So you might see you might see a slight increase on a 4K, but
Well, I don't know. If it was in 3D, Lloyd would be so excited, but it's not.
I probably would be. If it was 3D, I would be super excited.
Yeah. Super excited. All right, guys. Well, Christy's talking about Twilight. Edward Gonzalez says Twilight is better than Underworld. I can't wait till we get to talk about Twilight, guys. We get to the 2010s. I'm talking about Twilight. It's happening.
Yep, absolutely.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to move on, guys. But if you want to watch Underworld, like I said, it's on Prime Video right now. I think all of them are streaming on Prime. 4K is $12.99. The Blu-ray is $9.99 on Amazon. And it's a $4 rental on basically every rental service known to man rents this. So,
okay.
But Lloyd,
I have the best movie of the year. The best movie.
Hold on. Let me, let's get ready for this. Hold on.
Let's get ready for this movie.
I'm gonna play. This is for this one. All right.
A group of college students travels to a mysterious island to attend a rave, which is soon taken over by bloodthirsty zombies. Released October 10th, 2003, it is the U.S.-Canadian action horror film House of the Dead, directed by Uwe Boll, an adaptation of the 1996 light gun arcade game of the same name, which was good.
Yeah, the game is awesome.
And yes, but this movie is bad.
This movie's like walking in and finding your grandparents in coital sex.
Ooh.
And you can't look away. It's just happening right in front of you, but it's horrible. There's so much things happening. Your eyes are hurting, but you can't. You just want to go away as far as you can.
Well, it is a shame, too, because this was a fun game, and it could have been a fun movie. It really could have been. I don't know what they could have done. This could have been
something like Resident Evil, like fun. This could have been something like Resident Evil that was fun,
Right.
Why has nobody tried to remake this? I know they made a sequel to this for some reason. David Dugas. It's your favorite movie.
House of the Dead. Such a fun game. We do have a trailer though, so let's watch the trailer of House of the
We
Dead.
had to, guys. We had to pull this in today. I'm sorry.
Let's do it.
It was a nightmare. It all started a few days ago.
It was a nightmare.
Where do you hide?
Where do you hide?
When they're everywhere.
When they're everywhere.
What do you do?
I remember the what do you call it, on the complaints of the reviews were just so terrible when this came out.
I like how it looks like a video game commercial
Yeah.
with the guns and everything. You're like, welcome.
Like I said, you had this quick.
Oh God.
A few days ago.
Is this your favorite movie?
House of the Dead.
Why haven't we got a 4K version of this yet?
Oh my God. What a waste that would be. Have we watched this whole thing yet? Or is it over yet?
No, it's not. You have to keep watching it.
It's not human. It's been mutated.
This is quite possibly the worst movie ever made. I'm gonna say that.
You think so?
This is one of the worst films I have ever seen in my life. There is nothing positive I can say about it.
How did
The only
Clint Howard get involved in this?
Clint Howard, he don't care. He give him a paycheck. Clint Howard doesn't care.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's nothing I can say that's good about this. This is,
The makeup effects, were they good?
I've seen homemade videos of people taking a dump that are better than this.
Oh God, it even has a Matrix-like scene.
Ready for the end? The big end scene, Lloyd? This movie takes the cake. This movie will make you sad that you have existed 91 minutes, however long this is. And this is Hugh Boll, who I don't know how, but he somehow directed like 30 movies, and he's never made anything good. I don't know how he does. How does he? Is he like a millionaire, like a billionaire? He just funds his own movies. I mean, how?
I guess he's just connected. Maybe the
To
people.
what? The toilet? Jesus
No,
Christ.
to whoever is funding these films. I mean, you know.
Can I get in touch with this person? I feel like I can make better movies than you, Bo.
Well,
I mean, Jesus.
I don't think you're. Yeah, I think you could.
I could have made a better House of the Dead. Mine would have been great.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, anything would have been better than this.
So this is just wow. Script's bad, acting's bad, story's bad, it's shot bad, lighting's bad, direction's bad, score's bad. Everything is bad in this movie. I feel like every aspiring filmmaker, they should make them watch this and say, this is what you never do in any aspect of anything in the world.
Yeah.
Nothing with this.
Well,
Never do.
This movie got its due though, because people trashed this movie when it came out. So
I saw this in theaters too, and I was so excited. I was like, yeah, House of the Dead. Boom, boom,
we just had a
boom,
great
zombies.
Resident Evil movie. This is gonna be awesome.
I went and saw it, and I was in theaters like, oh fuck.
Oh Lord. Well, if anybody is interested in watching this, you can run out and rent Peacock. Weren't we just making fun of Peacock the other day for having something else terrible that you could stream?
Peacock, I think Peacock got the shit into the distributions today.
Yeah.
Like here you go.
Well,
Like,
hey.
I really wish this was on Prime, because I really want this to be one of our Prime weekend movies.
Oh, that'd be
House of
fun.
the Dead. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And every
Well,
time there's a bad scene, somebody's got to drink. It's a drinking game. No, we're not doing that. That's not smart.
Yeah. Alas.
Every time there's a bad scene, nobody gets to drink. We're all just going to be sober the whole time.
That's probably why it's not there, because they know people would do stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, House of the Dead, there you go, guys. I can't imagine anybody caring, but Blu-ray is out of print. DVD is $6.99.
Blu-ray's
Peacock,
out of print because they never sold them.
they
just threw 'em all in the
destroyed them.
trash.
They buried them. underneath the copies of Atari's E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on, Charles. Let's get back to a good one.
This is a good example of a remake done right. Here we go. After picking up a traumatized hitchhiker, 5 friends find themselves stalked and hunted by a deformed, chainsaw-wielding loon and his family of equally psychopathic killers. Released October 17, 2003, it's the American sadistic horror slasher flick, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Directed by Marcus Nispel, a remake of Tobe Hooper's 1974 film of the same name. What do you think of it, Lloyd?
Yeah, I really, really like this one. I thought it was well done. It's probably the only time that a Chainsaw sequel was done or remake was done right, and we've had a couple of opportunities, right?
Yeah, and thankfully this was also shot in Texas. If you guys aren't aware, this was shot in and outside of Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So it is legitimately a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. It was not filmed in LA like everybody thought it was going to be done. Yeah, I actually like this. I was super surprised by this. This is, the same. Marcus went on to direct the remake of Friday the 13th, which is why I'm giving this away this today.
Perfect.
Marcus is a decent director who we haven't heard a lot from, but I like this one a lot. I was pleasantly surprised. I do not like Jessica Biel whatsoever. I don't like her in this movie. I don't like her existence. I don't like when she's in anything that exists that involves her being on screen.
That's
my one problem with this.
I don't particularly have a problem with Jessica Biel.
She looks like a potato's foot. I don't like her.
Well, she didn't bother me that much. I did like this remake. I thought it was well done, which kind of is surprising because it's hard to remake this movie. But they pulled it off, and I think they did a good time or a good thing, or I think they did well with it for the generation in which it was made. I think it was very appropriate.
It was really appropriate, really well updated, while still maintaining that old style theme. And I'll tell you guys, Arlie Emery is fantastic in this movie. Arlie Emery is so great in this. I love Arlie Emery.
He is really good in this movie. I was just reading Scooby D says, yes, I directed the greatest movie remake. Scooby's real name is Marcus. But I wanted to say hi to Scooby because I just now saw him.
Marcus!
What's up, bruh?
Marcus. Yeah, I actually like this one. It was beautifully shot. Mm-hmm. It's, despite me not liking Jessica Biel, I will say that, the cast in this did really well. The feeling of shock and unsettlingness through the entire cast is there. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's extremely well made. I mean, if you guys are ever in Austin, I'll tell you, do not try to go to the house in this movie because the people who live there will try to shoot you. So
is that right?
That's not a joke.
Todd said they have signs that say you can take a picture, but do not enter.
Yeah, not enter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I can't really blame them for that. I mean, it's their property, so.
But so many remakes we've seen didn't work. But we got a lot of good ones in this decade of the 2000s. There's a lot of them that happened that were actually pretty good that we're going to run across. And this is heap of the hopper. This one was good. I like this one a lot, and I mean, it's no original Chainsaw. Nothing's ever going to be the original Chainsaw, but I think it shines in its own way, like you said.
Yeah. The sequel, unfortunately, I hated the sequel.
I've never watched it, so that's probably why I didn't watch it.
The sequel to this one? You've never seen
it? Yeah. Is that the beginning? New beginning? Whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Don't watch it. To me, it just, this came out around the time that torture porn movies were a big deal. And so they threw in a heavy dose of torture porn in that movie, and it was just like, I just didn't care for it. So,
yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's good. This is a good one, though. It's gory. It definitely feels like a Chainsaw movie. They did a great job with the cast. Baranarski. I always have trouble saying his last name. I say his last name, Baranarski.
Bernarski.
Andrew Bernarski. I say it, but I stumble it. But he's great as Leatherface. He's a humongous, terrifying son of a bitch. So he fits really well. Yeah, I just like this movie. It's good.
Hendershot asked if I meant the McConaughey Zellweger version. No, I mean the sequel to this Chainsaw movie is what I mean, and I think it was called
The Beginning. The Beginning. Yeah, 2006 with Jordana Brewster.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it, but I like the sequel. I think they did a really good job with remaking a classic, which is near impossible. So,
yeah. If you haven't, I haven't seen the sequel to this, but there's a sequel that also has Andrew Bernarski and Arlie Emery in it, and I never watched it because when it came out, I heard terrible reviews when it came out, and I liked that first one, so didn't watch it, and it's just never been on my radar to watch it again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's obvious that they shoehorned some torture porn in there because it was popular at the time. So I just didn't really like it that much. But this one is great. Did you mention where you can get this one, Charles?
It's not streaming anywhere, but you can rent it streaming on Amazon. For basically every service has it for like $4. But the Blu-ray is only $8 on Amazon for this one, so it's a good buy.
Awesome.
You got the last one here.
I got the last one. This is the last one, and then we'll do honorable mentions after this, guys. After that, we will give away a copy of, what are we giving away again, Charles?
The 2009 remake of Friday the 13th on steelbook.
Also directed by Marcus Nispel. All right, so hang around, everybody, for that. All right, next one. People mysteriously start receiving voicemail messages from their future selves foretelling their deaths, first premiering November 3rd, 2003 at the Tokyo International Film Festival. It's the Japanese horror film One Missed Call, directed by Takashi Miike.
Great director.
I remember a lot of people not being very impressed with this, but I think a lot of people looked at it as just another Japanese, ghost horror type film. But I remember enjoying it. I thought it was a good movie.
Oh, I love this movie. I think this is one of the best Miike films.
Do you really? You think this is one of his best? Okay.
I think this is one of his best, in my opinion. This is a great J-horror movie. It's shot really well. I mean, it's got a good story in it. If you've watched a lot of J-horror, and if you're not the biggest fan of J-horror, I guess, too, you can start seeing redundant a lot of it. I'm a huge fan of it, and I see a lot of things in this I didn't see a lot of others. The way some of it was shot was a little different. The screenplay done for this one was really good. The story is a little hard to follow, and I think that's what threw people off. There's a lot of stuff going on in this story, the screenplay. There's like multiple plot lines going on in this too, so it could be a little hard. But yeah, I like this one. But I love Ringu. I love Jaehoon. I love all those movies, and I like One Missed Call. This one's so much better than the U.S. remake that was done a few years after this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to beat the original on this one, but J.D. Smith, DigiArtist, thinks you're crazy on Twitch for liking this movie. He says, I want what Charles is on.
Hey, I'll give you some, but you know what? I like this movie. It's a bizarre, unique, misleading ghost story. Miike is a genre bender. This definitely bends some genres, and I like this movie a lot. I'm a J-horror fan, and I like this one. I know a lot of people feel like it's too similar to, like Lloyd said, the other ghost movies like Dark Water and The Ring and Ju-On, but I like a lot of the Miike moments in this. We've got a bizarre ending to this, and if you don't take it too seriously and you go in there just wanting something a little weird and fun, I think you're going to enjoy this movie. I think you will.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Don't try to compare it to other of the other Gaijin ghost movies, because you're going to ruin the movie for yourself. So,
yeah.
This is not a masterpiece in Asia. This is not like Ringu or anything, but I like this movie a lot. So.
All right. Well, that's all it takes, right? If you like it, that's all that matters.
If I like it, I like it. If you guys don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, there may be somebody out there who love House of the Dead, but that's not for you guys.
House of the Dead.
Well, if you want to watch this, it's on the Arrow channel. The Arrow channel,
awesome.
which has a lot of good stuff. And it's a $2.99 rental on Amazon, but why the hell would you rent it when the Arrow channel is $2.99 a month? Just go get the Arrow channel.
Yeah.
So,
JD Smith says, you got me second guessing myself. If you're saying you feel it's one of Mikey's best, I feel like I need to revisit it now. So there you go. You might make a believer out of him.
I like Mikey a lot. Don't get me wrong. I love Mikey. I mean, this is not Audition. I mean, Audition is a phenomenal film. Mikey has like 40 or 50 movies. Some of them are goofy as hell, but you know, I like this movie. I like Audition. I like see what someone's. I like Dead or Alive is a great one that he did. The Guys from Paradise, that's a good one too. I watched a lot of his movies.
Ichi.
And I like this one. Yeah, Ichi.
Ichi
is his best. Ichi the Killer is the best.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah, that one is the best. But
all right then, guys. Did we talk about where we can get this one, Charles? Or yeah, you did.
Yeah, the Arrow
channel. That's right.
Arrow also has a Blu-ray trilogy out. They have the One Missed Call trilogy for $24.99 on Amazon. But go out and get that. Here's a plug, guys. The Arrow channel for $2.99 a month right now. And there's 30 days free because we love the people at Arrow, which, remind you guys, they'll be on Sunday with us at 12. Oh, yeah.
There you go. So that is the end of our list for today. Let's go ahead and celebrate. And then we're going to roll right into the honorable mentions for 2003.
There's another Mikey movie in honorable mentions too. That
of course there is. He probably made 16 other movies that year.
Yeah, he did.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's roll the honorable mentions and see what else we had.
Ooh.
$2LDK.
Yep.
What is that?
$2LDK.
I don't think I've seen this one, Charles.
2LDK. It's about actresses who they both audition for a part and they get stuck in the same room together and a bunch of crazy shit happens.
The Hitcher.
Jake Busey is fun in that movie.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the movie itself is that good, but Jake Busey's great.
I don't think I saw this one.
Well, it's available now on video and DVD.
Available now.
Oh, this is a great movie too.
I know this one.
Battlefield Baseball. Guys can tell Asian horror's reigning supreme during this time period.
It was, yeah.
Because a lot of these Asian horror movies could have been on the regular list, guys. I just didn't want to flood it. Some of them are hard because, boy, they really skew genres. They do.
That's true. But that's what they do best.
Here's Lloyd's favorite movie, guys. I had to put this in here for Lloyd.
Oh, God. So many problems with this movie.
I'm surprised at how high its rating is on IMDb. I was so surprised.
Is it rated high?
It's like a 5.8 or 5.9, which is pretty high for this movie.
Yeah, that is pretty high. I definitely wouldn't rate it that way. Oh, Gozu.
There's the other one. Gozu is the other one. That's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
Here's the best scene from it I had to put in.
This movie's insane. It's one of his most Lynchian films to date. It's a lot like a David Lynch film.
There you guys
go. That had to hurt.
Man, I can't see this.
You know what? I actually like this movie, but it's not good.
It's one of those that's weird. I like it too. but it's not good. Like you're saying, it's
Yeah.
not a good movie. But I enjoy watching it. But it's not good.
I'm exactly with you on that because I don't think it's a good movie, but I really enjoy watching it.
Same here. I couldn't turn it off. It was good.
Yeah. Jeepers 2.
Is it dead?
Looks dead to me.
Wow, there were a lot of Asian films this year.
Uh huh.
I cannot watch this movie a second time. This movie gave me so much anxiety.
Open water.
So much anxiety. I don't, it was hard for me to get through that movie. I was so on edge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
Open
All right,
water
Lloyd.
is just, ugh. Anyway. So
You
there
get to ask
go.
a question, Lloyd. Ask the same question you asked last week. 'Cause everybody complained.
Same question? I don't even remember what it was at this point.
Everybody said, you already asked that question, Lloyd. I said, we're going to ask that question every week now. The same
Every
damn
week.
question.
Every week. Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to give away this.
You got a question?
I thought you were coming up with a question.
Oh, you want me to do the question?
I thought you had a question.
Let's see.
Just throw any sort of question up. Let's see who answers it. We keep them in suspense.
Who played Jason Voorhees in the remake of Friday the 13th? That should be pretty easy. Let's see who gets that. This is the remake of Friday the 13th, directed by Marcus Nispel. We want to know who played Freddy Krueger.
Who played Freddy Krueger in Hellraiser 6 on...
No, we want to know who played Jason Voorhees.
I'm surprised it's taking that long.
JRE says Derek Mears.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. He says he's
But he
not
said-
playing.
He's not playing.
Okay, so the first one that got it after that was Richard Nettleton.
I should just start sending everything to Richard Nelton. I don't even have to ask questions. Just go out to Richard.
Do we want to try the next winner?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't care.
We'll give it to
I'll just say-
Richard.
Give it to Richard.
There we go.
Richard got it.
won. Good job. Everybody else was too
Uh,
late. That took too long, guys.
Yeah. So it did take a while, but I'll send it out to Richard. Richard's gonna get it.
So that's it.
Also,
that wraps up 2003, right, Charles?
yeah. So I think we need to schedule our Patreon show soon, Lloyd. We're gonna try to work that in soon. We're gonna try to do 2 shows this month for the Patreons. We're gonna do director series, and then we're gonna do one on Giallo films.
So we'll have to do the 14th and the 20th. I'm sorry, the 14th and the 21st, or the 21st and the 28th, or we'll have to put some time between there, whatever you think.
I think we do the 21st and the 20, not the 21st. Let's do the 14th and the 28th. How about that? How's that?
You
sound?
sure? Because that's Valentine's Day, the
Oh,
14th.
we're gonna do Valentine's Day. Why do we want to do that? Let's
Yep.
do. Well, we'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out
figure it out.
later. So
figure it
that's
out.
going to be coming up. But first off, let's see, what is today? Wednesday,
Oh.
Thursday.
I wanted to mention too for Patreons. My next extra giveaway I'm doing from the Patreons is a original Japanese theater brochure for Funhouse. I'm giving this away to one of the Patreons.
Oh, that is cool.
This is an original 1981 theater program for Funhouse, and it opens up. I like to give you guys fun stuff away. Look at this.
That is awesome.
So it's all in Japanese too. Why? Because if you went to see this in Tokyo, this is what they would have given you. You would have read it when you saw Funhouse. This actually is going to look really cool framed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give this away to one of the Patreons at random, like we did last time. So
All right, guys. So don't forget, join us on the next Patreon when we announce it. If you're not a Patreon subscriber, you can subscribe for as little as $7 to get our exclusive episodes. The $9 subscription level will get you that, plus our awesome giveaways like this Funhouse program book.
program, 1981 in Japan. This is actually a really, really good shape. And this is coming from Charles's collection because I love you guys. And I think I need to start spreading the love to my Patreons because I love you guys. Look at this. Just imagine that
cool.
frame is going to look
like
really
it.
cool. Boom. It's an easy frame too. You know, I kind of want to do some poster giveaways, but posters are so hard to frame. I feel bad giving them to people, you know?
Yeah.
They're so hard to frame.
All right, guys.
I do-
So besides that,
I do have a Amityville 2 poster that's 110 inches by 6 inches. So,
yeah, have fun with that one.
all right, Lloyd, what's coming up, Lloyd? We got
So-
a big weekend coming up.
This Saturday at 2 p.m., we have filmmaker Chuck Norfolk. Will be joining us 2 p.m. Central Saturday. Chuck is known for all kinds of stuff like The Haunted Trailer and what else, Charles? Give me some more stuff.
Life Insurance Lottery, which if you watch Life Insurance Lottery, there's actually a picture of me in that movie that you can see on screen.
Is there really?
So, yeah, they say my name in it. So watch it because Charles appears in it.
There you go. So Life
That's on
Insurance
Prime.
Lottery is his.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime. Okay, that's Chuck's latest film. He also directed things that you've probably seen at Texas Frightmare Weekend, like Getting Schooled, previously mentioned Haunted Trailer, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Go look him up. This is going to be a fun interview, Charles.
It will be. Richard asked if there's going to be another Patreon gathering. So if you're talking about a live gathering, I mean, I am still looking at doing another screening for everybody. It's just that the options of films I've been getting are limited. Stuff I don't want to show.
Right.
I don't really want to watch Dirty Dancing with you guys. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
but Chuck, going back to Chuck though, Chuck is another one of our fantastic Texas filmmakers that we've been trying to catch up with a lot the last couple of months. People bringing us some down home Texas fun, and big old friends of Texas Frightmare. So happy to check out Talk with Chuck a little bit. So
That's right.
it's gonna be good.
And then Sunday night, we have a screening coming up. Chrissy Gilliland is joining us. Is that right?
Chrissy Gilliland is our special guest of the week for our Twitch Prime watch party.
Great.
Yeah.
Any news on what we're showing yet?
I think she sent it over, but I don't know
okay.
if I read it or not.
You
I
haven't
think she
checked
just sent
it
it
out
over
yet.
before the. I think she sent it out before the show, but I'll check though. If she's on, yell at me, Chrissy, what you chose.
All right. And then after that, we have a bonus episode on February 7th. We have got our friends from Arrow Video coming on live with us. And we're going to be talking about a film called A Ghost Waits. And I hear we have some, besides the Arrow folks, we have some exciting guests coming from that film. Is that right?
Yeah. So the Ghost Waits is actually a really fantastic film that got a lot of positive reviews from festival circuits, and I watched it recently, and it's really great. It's a horror comedy film, and it's streaming exclusively on Arrow. So it's actually on the Arrow streaming channel. You can watch it beforehand, and we have the director of that, Adam Stovall, and the writer, McLeod Andrews, are going to be joining us with Arrow to talk about that movie. And we'll spend a little time talking to them about that movie. And as well, we'll talk with Arrow about everything else they've got upcoming, because there's some cool Arrow stuff coming up.
Sweet. This is going to be an exciting show. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, man. It's going to be good. Real happy to talk to our friends at Arrow.
Yes. It's been too long. It's been like I don't know. How long has it been?
Too long.
Like a couple of months or something.
Eduardo Gonzalez said that Chrissy chose Twilight. So we're going to watch Twilight.
Yay, Twilight. This will be
Yay!
not fun.
It's going to be nobody on there but us. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, so I think that is about it. Lots of great stuff coming up. We are going to be busy the next couple of weeks, so make sure you guys, follow us Make sure you like here on YouTube as well. We like to see that thumbs up. And leave some comments for us. That helps our algorithm out and gets us seen a lot more.
Yeah, and if you guys don't mind sharing this over to your pages or whoever groups you're on who think they would enjoy watching us, that's really cool. Ali said she'd watch Dirty Dancing, so maybe we'll do a live screening of Dirty Dancing here, okay, guys?
Holy moly.
Lloyd, will you join me at our live screening of Dirty Dancing?
Well, only if you'll call me baby.
Yeah, I won't put you in the corner either. Can we do the dance together?
If you promise, will you catch me, or do I have to catch you?
I'm catching you. Come here.
Oh, boy.
I had the
A
time of my life. Woo!
And I'm never going to feel like a human again.
Oh, yeah. Do it.
That is
Do
right.
it. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Oh, you are excited.
Woo.
All right, guys. So make sure you check us out. Stay on top of us. Stay on top of all of our news that's coming up and all of our shows. Or you can stay on top of us, too. That's fine.
Well, what's coming up next Saturday, too? What's going on next Saturday?
Next Saturday, we have the lovely and beautiful Lisa Wilcox at Frightmare Collectibles, live in store, meeting fans, signing autographs, all that fun stuff. Plus, since that is on February the 13th on a Saturday, that gives you time to come into Frightmare weekend and do some Valentine's Day shopping.
Yeah, Valentine's Day shopping.
That's right. And we got lots of cool stuff there at frightmarecollectibles.com, and y'all can check that out. And then you can also meet Lisa same day.
Yep, and that being a Saturday, guys, you know, when we do these special events, we're probably not going to have a show that day because we got a lot of work at Collectibles when we do that. Lots of stuff. So
Yes.
likely that's going to be a skip week. So if you guys want to come out and join us, though. You know, we'll try to go live like we do. We'll talk a little bit here
that'd
and
be
there,
fun.
but probably no Saturday show or movie that day because there's just too much going on. But we'll be there, you know. And if you guys want, Lloyd's gonna have plenty of
Mint slip.
That's right. Todd
Yeah.
Lewis wants to know if we're going to get another guest with Lisa at Frightmare HQ. I don't think so this time. I don't think so, but Lisa's worth it by herself just to come out and see her.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Looking forward to seeing her.
Yep, absolutely. What else, Charlie?
Well, I mean, I guess Lloyd and I will be there. We're like guests, aren't we?
Hell yeah, we are. We'll sign for free.
I'll sign for free. You bring it over there, I'll sign it for you
That's
guys.
right. Any Frightmare stuff you got, bring it out, and we'll sign it.
I'll sign it. Yeah. I'll actually, if you guys come out, remind me, because I got some Frightmare HQ magnets I can give you. Oh,
Ooh,
Lloyd, I gave Lloyd one.
yes,
Lloyd's
you did.
got one.
It's awesome.
But I got some. I'll give to you guys if you find me. So, woohoo.
Boom.
Woohoo, woohoo.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up for today. We've had another good time hanging out with you guys.
So great.
It was fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's it. You want to sign off,
That's
Charles?
it, guys. Let's sign it. You know, we'll be back. Lots of stuff going on. We'll be back in a couple days. So.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Charles. I appreciate it. Had fun with you tonight as well.
Oh, here, I need to give you one more of these.
Mint slip.
Mint slip. All right, guys.
A slip.
We'll see y'all in the funny papers. Y'all take care and have a
Yep.
good night.